All right, aloha friends. Welcome to another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Grey Wolf Promotions. I'm your host, Brian Goss with GM Sports Media, and my guest today, in the midst of football season and week ones and volleyball tournaments, of course, we have to talk some softball. And none other than my good friend Jessica Pauls, who's the new head coach for softball at Weatherford High School. Previously, she spent the last 5 years at Keller, her alma mater, assistant coach, helping coach the Indians to back-to-back regional finals in 23 and 24. Jessica, welcome back to the show.
What's up, Goss? How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining me.
Absolutely.
Let's just talk about it. Let's dive right in. Just
Yeah.
it hasn't been that long ago where you agreed and were hired to be at Weatherford. Just how did this all work out? And I'm also interested, with Keller being so close to your heart, how hard was it to leave Keller?
Oh man. I think being anybody who's been an assistant, right? You always have that thought in your mind of when is it time for me to step up? And when is it time for me to take that head coaching job? And I don't think there's ever the right time to do it. I think it's just when you see an opportunity that you want to be a part of and you think that you would be a good fit for that opportunity, I think you have to take it. That's part of being an assistant. Um, I thought Lemons was never going to retire. Lemons has been an amazing softball coach for the past 20 plus years and has amazing records and so many accolades. And so when he finally retired and this job came open, I thought, you know what, Weatherford would be a pretty cool place to be. It's definitely one of those places that everybody drives past, but they never spend some time in. And you spend one day out here, and it's pretty amazing. Um, Leaving Keller was definitely one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. It's been a part of my life since I was about 5 years old, and I'm 32 now. And so, it's something I've always known. And I think change is scary and change can be difficult, but I think this was a change that I was ready for and I was excited for. And it's been a crazy month.
That's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious. At what point did you think I want to be a coach, whether it's assistant or head coach?
I think being with Cribs the last 2 years and him telling me what an amazing head coach I would be. And it's one of those things that you always think about. You're like, man, can I really do this? And I fully believed I could do it, but I think getting the green light from Chad Cribs and him just supporting me for every step of the way, I think was really the final push that I needed to take that leap. So,
And I got to give a shout out before I forget. Jeff Lemons, as you mentioned, he retired like 25 years on the job from Aledo to Weatherford to Euless Trinity.
mhm.
I can remember my first year back in 2015, my first year covering softball. His Aledo Lady Cats won, and him and his players were so helpful and helping me in my first year. So very grateful for Coach Lemons.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Speaking about Weatherford, again, as long as I've been here, Weatherford softball, they've had some good years, but trying to get over that next hump and looking for, a long playoff push. It's easy for a lot of coaches to say, hey, playoffs, district title, that's our goal. But what are some of the other things you want to establish in year one?
So, year one, I'm trying to create the idea that postseason is a standard and not a goal. For me, it's always been a standard. I don't know anything else. And so the idea of not playing softball in May is crazy. And so I'm trying to establish the idea that this is something that we expect to happen and not we want to happen. The expectation, the idea. Um, for those that haven't been around me long, no, don't know how much team culture means to me. I think coming in and being younger and being energetic and being a female, we have an all female staff this year. Shout out, I'm the tallest one on staff, and that is not saying a whole lot. But we have three amazing women that are leading this program this year, and I think that's, something to be really proud of. And so I think us coming in and creating the culture that we want to create has been really fun. And I think all of our girls are bought into it. The camaraderie that we want, the support that we want, the supporting the other female programs here. Shout out to our volleyball team who's been rocking and rolling already so far. Just creating that environment. I want these kids to want to play for this program. And that is from, my starting varsity four-hole hitter to every single kid on my JV team. And so I want every single kid to feel like they're a part of this program and they're making a difference. And that starts us creating that culture that people want to be a part of.
I only laugh because knowing you and saying you're the tallest, yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
Shout out to the audience. I'm barely 5'3". So if that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what does. But my other assistant, Erica, she is ex-military and she's amazing. My other assistant, Nikki, she is CrossFit and is so in shape. It is beyond intimidating. And so we have three pretty powerful women that are leading this program, and we're pretty awesome. So
Yeah, by next year, it sounds like you guys might be the most conditioned team around.
yes, definitely. There was that I think that was the first worry when we got hired was all the girls go, "So how much conditioning are we gonna do? Buckle up, y'all. It's gonna be a lot."
You kind of mentioned a little bit about team culture and getting out to the community and all these programs. I've seen you very active on social media with, really getting yourself out there and meeting the kids, the community, creating all these relationships. Just talk about how that's been going on and can you already sense that chemistry with your group?
Oh, absolutely. I think with teenage girls you have to be authentic, right? And I think you don't get much more authentic than me. I am who I am at face value, right? And I'm never going to change and I'm always going to stay who I am. And so I think the girls notice that pretty quickly is they get what they get when it comes with me. And so I think doing, the Meet Coach Paul's night, and I've met all the guys from the Weatherford Youth Association, which are phenomenal. Um, creating that idea of everybody within our community buying into Weatherford softball. The best part about being in a town like Weatherford is it's a one high school town. Everybody eats, sleeps, and breathes Weatherford High School out here. And I think that's one of the coolest things is you can't go anywhere in town without seeing something Weatherford being worn or up at a restaurant or anything like that. And so it's really hard not to be involved in the community in a town like this. And so I am working my tail off plastering this town with Weatherford softball as much as we can. And, we're going to have our firefighter day and we're going to have days within the community and we're going to go to the elementary schools. And I want not just our kids, but I want the community to see, hey, this program is a force to be reckoned with, and this is a program that I hope my kid gets to play for one day, and that's what we're trying to establish. So,
Talking with Jessica Pauls, head softball coach at Weatherford High School. Again, you sort of talked about it, coaching at Keller and with Coach Cribbs. And again, it's meant so much to you because it's your alma mater. You played for them. You watched your little sister Michaela do her thing and win state, and then to have the success you had, the last 5 years. Just kind of, and then also with you, you coached alongside Chad Cribbs, but also Christina Gwynn.
mhm.
Just what was it at Keller and what was it being around those two coaches? What can you take away that will help you become successful at Weatherford?
I think that I am 100% set up for success having those two in my corner. I don't think I would be ready to be a head coach if I didn't get the opportunity to coach alongside Chad and Christina the last couple of years. Um, Christina has just this incredible love for the game. But not only that, she loves these kids. And I think seeing her passion and her drive for team culture, I think is where I got a lot of my drives and passion from for culture. And she does so many little things with the kids. And I think that is what helped push Grapevine into the state run that they did this past year, is going in and creating that culture that she changed at Grapevine, which was so fun to watch. I tell you what, there's something great about getting to watch your team make a playoff run, but getting to watch your best friend do it in a program that she just took over, I think is just one of the coolest feelings in the entire planet. And I've got two Grapevine shirts in my closet now because of it. Um, and I'm gonna try really hard not to cry talking about Chad because he is genuinely one of the most amazing people I have ever had the opportunity to be alongside with. Um, he loves these kids so much and he puts so much heart and so much passion and so much drive into this game, and his game knowledge is absolutely incredible. He would pick up on stuff just so fast, and I think my game knowledge and my ability to dissect the game got so much better just standing next to him and just hearing what he says and hearing what his thoughts are. um and I remember like even during like college season, when college games were on that I knew we were both watching, a situation would happen or a play would happen and I would text him, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he would give me his whole explanation. I go, "Yeah, that makes sense." And I definitely think he helped with my intensity. I have never been the most intense person in the entire planet, but it is really hard not to want to go to war standing next to that guy. And I think he helped me bring in a little bit more intensity that I needed this year. I kind of have a little handwritten note that I have. It says like "be like Cribs" on my days that I need to kind of step it up a little bit. But I tell you what, I mean, the three of us are in a group chat together and we bounce ideas off of each other, and we share drills that we're doing, and share culture things that we're doing. And to have those two in my corner, like I'm set up for success, and it's such a blessing to have those two friendships.
I'm sure you're going full speed. I don't know if you've had time to even think about it, but um, have you thought about that time where you have Grapevine or Keller on the schedule and you have to face?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I Grapevine and us have a scrimmage planned for beginning of the year. Perk of finally having turf. People want to come to me to play, which is pretty great. So Gwen's gonna come out to us in January, February, which is gonna be great. I know there's a really good chance we're gonna match up with Keller that first round of playoffs. Um, and I think, everyone has been asking me, how's it gonna feel to play Keller if you guys match up? And my genuine answer is gonna be it's gonna be the most amazing feeling in the entire planet. I mean, knowing that I have brought this team to playoffs and brought this team to postseason with the amazing staff that I have and these amazing girls that I have, and then I get to do it coaching on the same field with my other favorite person in the world. I think you can't help but not enjoy that. There's not a loss to be taken there, in my opinion. And, that's one of those moments that I'm hopefully preparing our girls for starting day one. So
Amazing. Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it. But before we go, I just kind of want to give you the red carpet. Just talk about the coming weeks. Is there fall league
yeah.
plan? What's in the works? And then where can we find you guys on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just made our first round of cuts last week. So I have 31 kids in our program. They're going to start rocking and rolling. We had our first lift yesterday, which was absolutely great. We have an amazing strength coach here at Weatherford. Shout out, his name is also Coach Keller, which I love. But he is just absolutely phenomenal. He does a great job with our kids in our weight room, and having him on our staff is just incredible. We have we're going to do some fall inter squad games coming up in October. which will be great. We have a lot of team bonding planned for the fall. We are going to do our staple firefighter day, which is going to be great. We're going to put them through a women's self-defense class, which is going to be awesome, which I think is super important for these kids to learn how to defend themselves. And I've just got a lot of really fun stuff planned for this fall while we also make sure that we are getting ready for the spring in the process. And I tell you what, I have some kids that I think are going to get put on the map this year that I think a lot of DFW is going to pay attention to. And I think we're going to be a force to be reckoned with here pretty shortly. So,
Awesome. Well, as you know, we've known each other for I guess almost 10 years since that state run in
yeah,
2016. So
yeah.
just want to say congratulations on
Thank you.
this new job and
Thank you.
all your success. And yeah, I'll be sure to come to one of those first few games to check you guys out.
Good. I already got a shirt for you. So, done and done.
All right, awesome. All right, well, that's Jessica Pauls, the head coach for Weatherford softball. Appreciate her coming on, and we appreciate you tuning in to another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Grey Wolf Promotions. I'm Brian Gossett with GM Sports Media, and until next time, take care.